Hello everyone, welcome to this video on everyday English expressions that will help you sound more like a native speaker. Today, we're going to explore common idiomatic phrases and slang that you'll hear in casual conversations and daily life. By the end of this video, you'll have a better grasp of these expressions and know how to use them naturally. Let's get started. First, let's look at why these expressions are important. Textbook English is great for building a foundation, but real-life conversation often goes beyond the formal rules you might learn in class. People use idioms, slang, and all sorts of informal phrases to express themselves. By learning these everyday expressions, you'll not only understand native speakers more easily, but you'll also sound more natural when you speak English yourself. One expression you'll hear all the time is hang in there. This means stay strong or don't give up, usually said when someone is going through a difficult time. For example, if your friend is stressing out about exams, you might say, "Exams can be tough, but hang in there, it'll be over soon." This simple phrase can show empathy and support, letting the other person know you understand their struggle. Another one is I'm beat, which means I'm really tired. A person might say it after a long day at work or an intense workout. For instance, if someone asks how you feel after you've been studying for hours, you can say, "I'm beat, I need a break." It's just a quick way of letting people know you're exhausted. A similar expression is I'm wiped out. This also means I'm exhausted, but it often implies that whatever you did totally drained your energy. Maybe you've been moving furniture around all day or you've been hiking for hours. You might say, "I'm wiped out. I think I'm going to crash early tonight." Using phrases like these can replace more formal phrases such as I'm very tired, helping you sound more casual and natural. Next, there's the phrase a piece of cake, which means something is very easy. For example, if someone asks how your math quiz went and you found the problems very simple, you can say, "It was a piece of cake." It's a lighthearted way of saying something required little effort. Keep in mind that it's not literally about cake. These are the kinds of figurative expressions that can confuse language learners at first, but once you hear them often enough, they become second nature. In everyday conversation, you'll also hear people say, "I'm down," or "I'm in," to mean they're willing to join or participate in something. If your friend invites you out for coffee, you might respond, "I'm down for that," or "I'm in." These expressions let people know you're enthusiastic about whatever plans they're proposing. It's a friendly, casual way to agree to something instead of the more formal, "Yes, I would like to go." You've probably heard "no worries" or "no problem" as a way to say you're welcome. This is common in everyday English, especially in more relaxed settings. For instance, if someone thanks you for holding the door open, you might just say, "No worries," or "no problem." It conveys a friendly attitude that you're happy to help and that it wasn't a big deal. Another useful phrase is long story short. When you tell a story or explain a situation, you might add long story short just before you give the main point or conclusion. Maybe you had a complicated day full of unexpected events, but you just want to jump to the end. You could say, "Long story short, I missed my bus, spilled coffee on my shirt, and got to work late." It's a quick way to skip all the little details and get to the result. Let's talk about an expression you might hear when people are making plans or decisions. Play it by ear. This means to wait and see how things go before making a definite plan. Instead of scheduling everything in detail, you leave room for spontaneity. You might say, "I'm not sure what time I'll be free, so let's just play it by ear," which tells the other person you'd like to keep your options open and decide later. You'll also encounter slang like awesome, cool, or sweet to express excitement or approval. These are very common and can be slipped into daily conversation without sounding out of place. For instance, if someone tells you they've gotten a promotion or achieved a high score on a test, you can simply reply, "That's awesome," or "Sweet, great job." It's direct, informal, and expresses positive feedback immediately. Moving on, let's discuss the phrase under the weather, which is used to say someone is feeling sick or unwell. Instead of simply stating, "I'm feeling ill," you might hear someone say, "I've been under the weather today." It's a gentle, more idiomatic way to let people know you're not feeling your best. There's also the expression "keep your chin up," used to encourage someone who may be feeling down or facing difficulties. It's similar to "hang in there," but has more of a motivational tone. If your friend is discouraged about a slow job search, for example, you might say, "Keep your chin up. I'm sure things will work out." One more idiom you might find helpful is break a leg, which is used to wish someone good luck, especially before a performance or important event. It might sound odd, why would you tell someone to break a leg? But that's just the charm of idiomatic expressions. Native speakers understand it to mean good luck, and it's perfectly acceptable to say backstage before a play or before someone goes in for an interview. While we're on the topic of good wishes, there's another casual expression people often use: fingers crossed. This is used when you're hoping something will happen or turn out well. If a friend is waiting for an acceptance letter from a university, you might say, fingers crossed you'll get in. You can also say, I'll keep my fingers crossed for you, which basically means you're hoping everything goes smoothly. Lastly, an expression that's becoming more popular in casual conversation is fair enough, which is a way of saying you understand or respect someone's opinion, even if you don't fully agree. It's like saying, I see your point. For example, if someone explains a decision you initially questioned, you might respond with, fair enough, showing you accept their explanation. These are just a few examples of the idiomatic expressions and slang that can make your English sound more authentic. When you start to recognize them in TV shows, movies, or casual chats with native speakers, try to mimic how they're used. Remember that context is key. Some expressions may be more regional, or they might be appropriate only in informal situations. Pay attention to who's speaking and the setting you're in so you can adjust your language accordingly. There's no need to memorize every single expression all at once. Instead, pick a few that resonate with you and try to use them consistently in conversation. Over time, you'll build a natural feel for what sounds right, and before you know it, you'll be using these phrases without even thinking. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found these everyday English expressions helpful. If you did, feel free to practice them with friends or include them in your next English conversation. The more you incorporate idioms and slang into your speech, the more fluent and confident you'll become. Keep up the great work, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep learning and have fun practicing.